Hey, good morning everyone. It is May 2nd, 2022. We're in Seattle. We have to drive down to Astoria, Oregon, or Cape Disappointment, Washington, to get some black sand for the Impossible pay dirt bags. It's about a 3-hour drive, and it's raining out. Of course, it's, you know, the Pacific Northwest. If I see anything interesting along the way, I'll definitely stop and check it out, specifically mushrooms or good coffee shops and stuff like that. So I'm gonna stay the night in Oregon, in Astoria, Oregon, and then drive back tomorrow morning fresh, come back up to Seattle to catch my plane back home, and I'll probably film a little bit at Cape Disappointment as well to show you how I locate the black sand and collect it up and ship it back to Denver for the Impossible bags. Anyway, good morning everybody, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Well, I'm at a gas station here. I can't record more than a few seconds because the music is going to copyright strike the video, but I found some nice clam chowder here. All right, well, I'm about 50 miles from the destination, and as I was driving down, I passed this location that you might recognize from every single one of my more recent videos, at least in the past year, and that's right back here. So right back in there, there's an island with a tree on it. It's kind of hard to see from here, and the water's, it's low tide. When I took my drone up and flew by that thing, it was completely surrounded by water. But you'll see that in pretty much every video for the past year on my main channel at the very end, during the Patreon credits. This is the spot where I parked and sent my drone up and flew by it. I thought it was pretty cool. Well, like I said, we're about 50 miles from Cape Disappointment. I got my buckets for black sand, and we're almost there. All right, when you get here, you have to pay to get in. It's only $10 unless you have a Discover Pass. So I asked the ranger in there if it was okay to pick mushrooms and take them out, and she said yes, of course. She said, however, sometimes they do have closures, usually before fall. So she said right now there's no closures and I could pick all the mushrooms I want. So if we find anything, we're good to go. And as far as the black sand, it's kind of a gray area. They keep changing the pamphlet. It used to be where you couldn't take, or I don't even know, but all I know is right now it's okay to take black sand, but only like a bucket or two. You don't want to be taking too much. I don't want to be carrying that much either. This stuff is super heavy. All right, let's get to the beach. So if you've never been to Cape Disappointment State Park here in Washington State, it's the very southwestern corner of Washington. So it kind of looks like this. Well, it looks exactly like this if you were in a airplane or a satellite or a space station or whatever. This place here is called Benson Beach, and it's full of black sand, and that's what I'm after. It's really fine black sand, and there's actually gold in it. If you look down here, you can actually see the beach. So I'm gonna head down there and process some dirt, bring some back, ship it back, we're good to go. That's something you don't see in Colorado. Moss on the trees. If I get a chance, I'm gonna walk around and see if I could find any spraying oyster mushrooms. And if you're lucky, even morel mushrooms. All right, this may look familiar if you've seen my Washington State episode, but this is all black sand right here. But there's a lot of blonde sand mixed in with it. I want to find some really nice black sand. So this is the Pacific Ocean. We're gonna go ahead and search around, The last time I was here, there was a good spot up that way, by some big rocks over there. That big rock right there. There was a nice black sand pocket by it. It looks like there's some right here. It changes all the time because of the tides, but this looks pretty good. I mean, the less I have to walk with this stuff, the better, honestly. But I am gonna go take a walk just to see. There's a few people down there, but that's all right. This place is awesome, guys. All right, so you can park right there and just walk over. And it turns from paved road into black sand. And then you're up here right on the beach. The first time I ever came here, that was the time that I filmed my Washington episode. And this is where the intro was filmed, that video. And these logs, the tide was a lot higher. The tide was all the way up to here. And I was filming the intro like right over there with the ocean behind us. And all of a sudden, like a giant wave took all these logs and almost crushed us. And that was my first experience here. Yeah, it's way low now. There's a guy with a bucket over there. Maybe he's looking for gold. I don't know what he's doing. No, he's got a dog. So right now I'm headed back to Astoria. I'm gonna go ahead and get some lunch and get to the hotel. And if I'm feeling up to it, maybe I'll walk around a little bit and check out the Goonies filming locations. All right, little bonus footage here. I'm here. You can Google it, you can find it yourself, but if there's a geocache, search the high seas as the hint. So I would guess the geocache is gonna be hidden somewhere. I would guess magnetic or actually this is a really good spot right here. Is this it? Nope. Is this it? Nope. If anybody's ever seen the Weird Al movie UHF, you would get that reference. Is this it? Nope. Is this it? It's basically a blind guy and a homeless guy sitting on a park bench. And the blind guy keeps turning the Rubik's Cube and asking the homeless guy if this is it or not. He just keeps going, nope. Where the heck is this thing? Is it even here? I'm gonna get kicked out of here. All right, I'll put the phone down so I could search quicker and not get thrown out. Oh, I found it. I found it. I found it. Let's see what is inside the geocache. Logbook. There's the logbook. Toys and a nickel. All right, I got to sign the log and we're good to go. All right, got the geocache signed. I'm gonna go ahead and, oh, I don't have any pics, do I? Oh, actually, I think I do. I always carry something with me. Yeah. These are the version 15s, I believe. Yeah, version 15. I wonder if the ORV has bullet holes. Oh, it does. Oh, cool. This is where the Goonies was filmed. Like the very first scene. All right, so don't take your eyes off the screen. We are at the Port of Astoria parking lot. You can see there's obvious Columbia River behind us. But if we turn around and we look across the street, If you have a good eye or a good memory or just a fan of the Goonies, you might recognize this building right here in the middle of the street. This is where, I forget her name, she's the housekeeper, and she's like almost getting hit by a car in the beginning of the movie and the opening credits of the Goonies. Yeah. But this is where it's at. Right here. Now it's a coffee shop, it looks like. I should have got my coffee there. If you remember from the beginning of the movie, that window right there is where Chunk smashes a milkshake and a hamburger up against the window. So today I am in Washington State, somewhere between Astoria, Oregon and Seattle. I had to go to Cape Disappointment, Washington to get some black sand for my Gold Impossible pay dirt bags on kleshgold.com. But I figured on the way back I would stop and look for some mushrooms, and I found a day use area. So we're at the Columbia Land Trust South Nema Conservation Area. Yeah, passive day use, recreation allowed. And right now it is the first week of May, and it's been about 50 degrees every day for the past couple weeks. And there's plenty of mushrooms up right now. Specifically oyster mushrooms is what I'm gonna be looking for. Man, it's so green here compared to where I live in Colorado. Got these big giant ferns here. Speaking of which, out in Vermont right now, and Maine and the Northeast United States, the fiddlehead ferns are up, which are my personal favorite vegetable. Let's see if we can find some oyster mushrooms today. That would be great. All right, so it looks like I found some reishi mushrooms. I think that's how you pronounce it, R-E-I-S-H-I. This one here is pretty buggy, but it's thought to have medicinal benefits and stuff. I'm not obviously gonna eat it. I'm looking for a specific type of mushroom, and that ain't it, but still something interesting to find here. A lot of stumps to look at down here. Now the oyster mushrooms, whenever I find them, they tend to grow on fresher dead trees. These things here, these are pretty rotten. I could just grab a handful of it and tear it apart. I'm looking for more of a hardwood dead tree. All right, there's a little cave right there. There's some fresh bear poop right there and right there. And yes, a bear can absolutely hide in something like that. I'm getting a little bit paranoid. There's some more. I think we're gonna go ahead and get the heck out of here. Yeah, I don't have any firearms on me or bear spray or anything like that. He can have the oyster mushrooms. We're gonna go look for a different spot. Although this place is really pretty. Look at that. It is a temperate rainforest is what this type of area is called. So awesome to see something like this coming from, you know, super dry and brown Colorado. All right, let's get out of here before the bear gets mad. All right, so I went back to the road, and I could have turned right to go back to the truck, but I decided to come up the hill more. Who cares about the bear? I really wanted to explore around a little bit. So I'm walking past this darker forest. Let's go in there and see what's in there. That's a even better habitat for mushrooms. Oh, cool. So, oh, I see some mushrooms. It's nice and quiet in here. You see that stump right there? I think we have some oyster mushrooms, but that's a coniferous, isn't it? That might be a angel wing mushroom. Let's go check it out. It's so quiet in here. This is awesome. Yeah, so the oyster mushrooms won't grow on the coniferous trees like these. Oh, awesome. So this is just a big some type of shelf mushroom. I'm not an expert on those. I'm not an expert on any of them, really. By the way, don't listen to some random guy on YouTube when it comes to harvesting mushrooms that could possibly kill you. So I think these are all very hard, like shelf mushrooms. I don't know what they are, so of course leave them alone. But yeah, out here there's so many mushrooms. It's just constantly wet here. Colorado, of course, I do have some awesome mushroom hunting videos in Colorado, but this part of the country is kind of known for mushrooms. All right. So here on this hardwood log, I found some, I think they're called fairy parasol mushrooms. I'm not 100% sure if they are. Therefore, I do not know if they are a choice edible or not. Therefore, you guessed it, I leave them alone. Real pretty mushrooms, though. Can you hear that? That's freaking me out right now. I just scared something up. Holy crap. Whatever it is crashing through the woods down there. It must have been right here because I walked up on it. I'm walking down a hill right now and it just like crashes through the woods. There's a big stump right here though. I want to look at it. I may be scared of whatever that was, but I think I actually scared it away. But I still want to check this stump out. There's some more of those possible fairy parasols on it. I don't see anything on this side. And coming down this hill, I did see a bunch of hardwood stumps right over here. But I think they're too old. I don't see any oysters coming up off of it. I searched all over the place, and I'm about halfway down this mountain over here. So if that was a Bigfoot or a bear or a moose or something, and it decided it wanted to take me out, I would stand no chance right now. I don't care how big of a dude you are, you're not gonna fight off a Bigfoot or an angry mama bear, especially. All right, we're back onto the road, or the trail, whatever you want to call it. That freaked me right out. I mean, it was right next to me. I wish I was recording for that. Whew. All right, man. So we're not that far up, no more than a half mile away from the truck. We found some mushrooms. Surprisingly, no oyster mushrooms. Oyster mushrooms and morels, as far as I know, are two of the only like choice edibles that you can find in the spring in the Pacific Northwest. Once the fall comes, we can find the golden chanterelles and a ton of other stuff. So I also don't want to get completely soaking wet. I have to catch my flight here in a couple hours, and I don't want to get on the plane looking like a Sasquatch. So one thing I forgot to mention about oyster mushrooms is that they can occur pretty much year round up here. The same thing in Pennsylvania too. And this is like one of the toughest times to spot them, because like in the fall, you know, you're not going to have as many leaves, and the oyster mushrooms stick out like a white, bright light in the middle of the woods. Like right now, you can see trying to, you know, pick something white out. It's kind of difficult. Even with these alder trees, these white alder trees, I guess in this area it might be difficult any time of the year to spot them. But yeah, in Pennsylvania, it's pretty easy. In most other localities, I would imagine it's pretty easy too. So yeah, this is a nice hardwood forest out here in Western Washington. I'd like to find an oyster mushroom to show the camera. Worst case, I can put a picture up just to show you what I'm looking for. But I have confidence we'll probably find one if I keep looking. All right, so I'm bushwhacking up through this hill right here, and I'm looking at the ground. I'm seeing all kind of fresher hardwood stumps. I'm like, I should come upon something pretty soon. And sure enough, there's all sorts of mushrooms here. Now this one here, I'm not sure. It's a guild mushroom. Not sure what that guy is. It's a polypore. I'm not sure what that is. It's kind of, it feels kind of stiff to the touch. Not sure what those are either. I'm sure we're gonna have the mycologists come out in the comments. So please give me a timestamp and an identification in this video if you know what these mushrooms are. I'm looking for a specific type. Obviously, if I see a morel, I will be happy, but I'm not expecting to see one. I'm just keeping my eyes peeled, enjoying the day. Whether I find mushrooms or not, I'm still gonna be 100% happy to be out here enjoying the day. Little tiny mushroom on a big giant stump. And I'm in like a perfect habitat here to find some interesting fungus. This is all coniferous, so evergreen stuff here. Lots of stumps everywhere. And this uprooted stump, there is some fungal activity underneath. Not sure what that is, but it's not what I'm looking for. Still very interesting and very peaceful out here. I don't know why I don't come up here more often. It's only a 2-hour flight from Denver. All right, so I just stumbled upon this huge pile of hardwood logs. It's obviously from a logger. You can see where it's been cut and thrown into a pile here. Some of them are still kind of dry and not completely rotted. So if we can't find any oyster mushrooms on this, I don't think we're gonna find any at all. So let's go ahead and get up in there and see what we can find here. Here's my shoe. Look at the size of this slug. I mean, that thing's a monster. I'm not gonna touch him because the salt on my finger, but look at the size compared to my finger. He's huge. All right, well, I'm thoroughly soaked, so mission accomplished. And although we didn't find any oyster mushrooms today, you know, every time you go treasure hunting, you can't really expect to find anything that you're looking for. I mean, imagine these guys out on, you know, these guys are searching for years, decades, looking for sunken treasure, and they're still out there looking. Sometimes they find the sunken pirate ship or whatever, but most of the time those guys are still out there. So if you decide to go treasure hunting, don't keep your hopes up. And if you are expecting to find treasure every time, at least to me, you're doing it for the wrong reason. I just enjoy nature. This is really the focus of the video. I mean, this is awesome, right? An alder forest. Come on, right? So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did enjoy it, I think you would enjoy my other channel as well, Klesh Guitars. I'll leave a link below. Daily uploads. It's not treasure hunting. It's kind of like behind the scenes stuff, like the trip up here and going to get my coffee in the morning and all that stuff. Whoa, I just slid right there. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit the thumbs up if you want, and you can subscribe as well. And I'll see you next week for another treasure hunting video. Thanks for watching. If you're still here, you're one of the 42% that haven't left, so thanks so much. And also big thanks to all my Major Credit Patreon supporters and channel members scrolling right there. And also, if you enjoyed this video, you're really going to like the other ones linked here, so definitely check those out, and I'll see you guys on the next video.